What if I told you that you could be making some major mistakes when feeding your dog without even realizing it? Even the most well-meaning pet owners can unknowingly sabotage their pup's diet and health. Recent research reveals the shocking truth, and we'll cover it all in this video. Welcome to Pet Spotlight, where today we're putting the spotlight on some eye-opening data on common feeding mistakes and simple solutions to get your dog's diet back on track. Let's dig in. Did you know about 4 out of 5 pet owners now see their animals as family members? And more households now have dogs than have children. With this shift, dog food is being held to higher and higher standards, just like our own food. We spend over $26 billion a year on pet food in the US, and recent data shows that sales of premium and natural dog foods now make up 40% of that market. And what's more, 79% of owners say their pet's food quality is as important as their own. More dog owners today are looking for added vitamins, protein, and no weird chemicals or byproducts. Before we get to mistake number 1, have you ever wondered, why does dog food have to smell so bad? For dogs, the tastiness of food depends on its appearance, smell, taste, and texture, just like it does for people. Recently, researchers set out to find which food smells dogs found most appealing. Scientists tested a bunch of smells, and the ones dogs liked best were described as fatty or meaty. And newsflash, humans weren't so high on those same smells. Luckily, we don't have to like the same things, but dog food makers can use this information to make even tastier concoctions for our pups. Okay, here's a question for you all. Do you know how much to feed your dog, or do you just guess? One of the biggest mistakes owners make is just winging it on meal size. Just like human food packages, cat and dog food labels contain nutritional information on labels. The labels often list the calories, protein, fat, carbs, and fiber per cup of food. And it's important to count calories if your pet's overweight, but it's probably not necessary if you have a pet that's of normal weight, as long as you have a rough idea of about how much they should be eating. I always check with my vet, who has great calorie charts for breeds and sizes of dogs. I recently adopted a new dog, and based on the food I was buying, my vet was able to tell me about how much he needed every day. This next feeding fact is super important too. The pet food aisle can be so confusing. Have you ever wondered, for example, what's different about puppy food versus adult dog food? Puppy foods tend to be much higher in protein and fat while they're growing rapidly, and they have different nutritional balances to support puppies. If you have a puppy, just make sure you don't miss the transition to adult food probably somewhere in the first year. I did, and my dog ended up 15 pounds overweight before we knew it. Fortunately, a little diet got him back where he needed to be. But what about treats? In the past, we didn't really often know how many calories were in various treats, but now that's becoming more available on the packaging too. Experts say that calories from treats should be no more than 10% of your pet's diet. It turns out a popular dog treat like a bully stick could be adding more calories than pet owners realize. Bully sticks are made from the uncooked, dried penis of a bull or steer. Yes, you heard that right. And they're found to contain between 9 and 22 calories per inch in one study. That could be about 30% of the daily calorie needs for a 10-pound dog in just one treat. Okay, confession time. Let's talk about how good you think you are at actually measuring your dog's kibble. One study found that dog owners were really inaccurate, ranging from underestimating by 50% to overestimating by 150%. Can you imagine getting 2.5 times too much food on your plate every meal and still trying to stay healthy? More on that study in a second. Here at Pet Spotlight, we seek to bring you the latest scientific research that can help you understand your pets better. Liking this video and subscribing to Pet Spotlight helps us do that. So thanks for joining the Pet Spotlight community. Here's how the study worked. Dog owners were given different style measuring cups to measure out a 1/4 cup, a 1/2 cup, or 1 cup of food. People were most inaccurate when they were trying to measure a 1/4 cup or a 1/2 cup of food with a giant 2-cup scoop. The problem is trying to eyeball portions with a cup that's way too big. The ideal solution would be to use a kitchen scale to weigh out portions, But let's be honest, that's not realistic for most of us, so just try to stick to a cup that's about the same size as the amount you're trying to measure. This will help keep your pup from getting obese and developing other health issues. So here's another controversial question. When you measure out that food, should you be feeding it to your dog in a bowl? There's a popular trend now towards ditching the doggy dish. Now there's certainly nothing wrong with a bowl, despite what the internet may tell you, but other feeding methods could be using puzzle toys or slow food dispensers or even floor feeding. Potential benefits include slowing down fast eaters, providing more mental stimulation and reducing boredom, and keeping your dog busy throughout the day, especially while you're gone for work. Bowls are also fine for most dogs, but it can help to consider some other ways of feeding to get these benefits. Alright, it's time to get serious about some health issues related to eating. Just like humans, dogs can have food allergies and intolerances too. The number of pets affected has been going up rapidly. Dogs can suffer from lactose intolerance, for example, and have milk protein allergies. My dog turned out to be allergic to chicken and rice, which is in almost every dog food. It took us a year of diarrhea to figure it all out. Fortunately, we did find some limited ingredient foods out there that were great for dogs with allergies. Some dogs are also liable to reactions from proteins in wheat, soy, peanuts, tree nuts, fish, and eggs. Without really good treatments available, avoiding allergens is key while researchers are working on other solutions. What about vegan diets for dogs? Is that even possible? It seems tough given that dogs are omnivores and historically ate a meat-heavy diet. But one study tested vegan food formulas against a leading chicken-based dog kibble. They fed the diets to beagles for 3 weeks and then they tested their blood, their poop, and their gut bacteria. Not only were the dogs nutritionally balanced on the vegan diet, they had signs of other benefits too, like lower cholesterol and better gut health. Their microbiome, which is the bacteria in their gut, changed rapidly within a week of starting the new diet. This actually brings us to another important recommendation. Transition gradually over a week or so when you're changing dog foods to allow their tummy to adjust. Changing food too rapidly can be a recipe for upset stomach. So vegan food may be possible, but when is natural not always better for your dog? Sales of natural pet foods totaled $4.1 billion in 2012, and that trend has only risen since then. While natural food is popular for humans, you should be careful before feeding similar food to your pets. All natural pet food isn't necessarily unhealthy, and there's lots of good brands out there, but cats and dogs have very specific nutritional needs that some of these foods may not provide. A natural dog food might provide antioxidants through fruits and veggies, for example, but it could be deficient in other nutrients. If you choose natural pet food, ensure that your pet's still getting a balanced diet, choose a reputable, certified company, and try to avoid harmful ingredients like onions or garlic that dogs don't like. Here's one last controversial question. Should you feed raw meat to your dog? New research has revealed an association between raw meat diets and antibiotic-resistant bacteria in dog poop. Out of 823 dogs, they found a strong link between raw meat and E. coli in the fecal samples. Now, because dogs can share bacteria with humans, we should do everything possible to reduce these superbug risks. Bacteria that are resistant to antibiotics are a huge health risk for people and animals. There may be some out there who disagree, but the science says cook that meat before feeding. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Pet Spotlight. We're always sharing new research to help you take the best care of your furry family members. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments, and we'll try to answer them. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.